Good morning, students. Welcome back to online class. Today, we are going to discuss the continuation of the first lesson, SI unit system. The system of units used by scientists and engineers around the world is commonly called the metric system. But since 1960, it has been known officially as the International System, or SI, the abbreviation for its French name, Système International. The SI, with a standard scheme of symbols, units, and abbreviations, were developed and recommended by the General Conference on Weights and Measures in 1971 for international usage in scientific, technical, industrial, and commercial work. So, what is the abbreviation for SI? That is the International System Unit. International System Unit. Okay. In the 1960 onwards only we are calling this unit. Okay. Now let us move on to what are the advantages of SI system of units, or advantages of SI system. The first advantage is this system makes use of only one unit for one physical quantity. For example, the unit of mass is kilogram. SI unit is kilogram. Or the SI unit of length is meter. Or the SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. Like that. So this system makes use of only one unit for one physical quantity, which means a rational system of units, which means what? A rational system of units are used. It's the first advantage. And second advantage, in this system, all the derived units can be easily obtained from basic and supplementary units, which means it is a coherent system of units. That is a system based on a certain set of fundamental units only. For example, we have to take as velocity. So what is the velocity formula? Velocity is equal to distance by time taken. So the distance is nothing but what? We can measure the length only, isn't it? So what is the length and time is taken as a base quantity or in the fundamental quantities only. So we can use one of the fundamental units only. So what is the SI unit of distance or length is taken as meter. What is the SI unit of time? Second. So what is the SI unit of velocity? Meter second power minus 1 or meter per second. So all the derived units can be easily obtained from basic and supplementary units. So this is only we have to call this what? Coherent system of units. The system based on certain set of fundamental units only. And third advantage, it is a metric system, which means that multiplies and submultiples can be expressed as a power of 10. So we can write this is 10 power 3. For example, we have to write the length of the rope is 1000 meter. The length of the rope is what? 1000 meter. So the 1000 meter can be written as in the 10 powers, that is 10 power 3 meter. The length of the rope is what? 10 power 3 meter. So we can write multiples and submultiples can be expressed as power of 10. So these are the advantages of SI system. So what are the advantages? This system makes use only one unit for one physical quantity, which means a rational system of units. And second, a coherent system of units. Coherent system of units means what? In this system, all the derived units can be easily obtained from basic and supplementary units. And third advantage, it is a metric system, which means that multiples and submultiples can be expressed as powers of 10. Okay. Now let us move on to the sum of the SI base quantities. SI, that is the International System Units, quantities and units. Already you have studied in our lower classes. Just recall what are the base quantities and what are the units of the base quantities and symbols of the unit and the SI units definitions. Just a recall. Okay. First we have to move on to the base quantities and units. The first base quantity is length. So the unit of length, SI unit of length is meter. It is denoted by the symbol is smallest m. And second base quantity is mass. Unit is kilogram. It is denoted by the symbol kg. And third base quantity is time. The unit is second. It is denoted by the symbol small s. And fourth fundamental quantity or base quantity is electric current. The unit is ampere. The symbol is capital A. And temperature. The unit is Kelvin and it is denoted by the symbol is capital K. And amount of substance. The unit is mole. It is denoted by the symbol MOL. And luminous intensity, candela, and it is denoted by the symbol is CD. So we have 7 base quantities. Okay. Now let us move on to the definitions of SI unit. Already you know what is length, what is mass, what is time, what is electric current, what is temperature, what is amount of substance, what is luminance intensity. You have studied in our lower classes, isn't it? Here let us see the definition of the SI units. First we have to move on to the SI unit of length is meter. So we can define 1 meter. So 1 meter is the length of the path traveled by light in vacuum. Which one is traveling here? The light, isn't it? The length of the path traveled by light in vacuum in 1 by 299,792,458 of a second. So this length only we have to take as 1 meter. And let us move on to the second base quantity, mass. So we know what is the SI unit of mass, isn't it? Kilogram. So we can define 1 kilogram. 1 kilogram is the mass of the prototype cylinder of platinum iridium alloy. So we have to take as the prototype cylinder. It is made up of the platinum iridium alloy. It's preserved at the International Bureau of Weights and Measures at Sèvres near Paris, France, 1901. They have to derive the definition of the 1 kilogram. So the prototype cylinder is kept in the International Bureau, that is Paris. That mass only we have to take as 1 kilogram. And next we have to move on to 1 second. 1 second is the duration of 9,192,631,770 periods of radiation corresponding to the transition between the two hyperfine levels of the ground state of the cesium-133 atom. So here it's given us what? It's a radiations is corresponding to the transition between the two hyperfine levels. Here it takes some time. So here it is given us what? How many periods are takes place? 9,192,631,770 periods of the radiation. Its transition from between the two levels of the ground state of cesium-133 atom. So this much time only we have to take as 1 second. The value is very important. Okay. So next we have to move on to ampere. So the ampere is the unit of electric current. So 1 ampere is the constant current which when maintained in each of the two straight parallel conductors. So this is taken as one conductor and this is taken as another one. Both the conductors are parallel to each other of infinite length. The length we have to taken as infinity. And negligible cross sections held 1 meter apart. So the distance between the first conductor to the second conductor, this is taken as what? 1 meter length apart in vacuum shall produce a force per unit length of 2 into 10 power minus 7 Newton per meter between them. So we have to consider as a constant current which when maintained in each of them two straight parallel conductors of infinite length and cross-sectional area is taken as a negligible one held 1 meter apart in vacuum, it produces a force is 2 into 10 power minus 7 Newton per meter between them. So it can produce this kind of force, that is 2 into 10 power minus 7 Newton per meter between them. This value will be is equal to 1 ampere. I hope you understand. So next we have to move on to the SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. So 1 Kelvin is the fraction of 1 by 273.16 of the thermodynamic temperature of the triple point of water. Thermodynamic temperature of what? Triple point of water. Already we know what is triple point of water. Triple point of water is the temperature at which saturated vapor, pure water and melting ice are all in equilibrium. The triple point temperature of water is 273.16 Kelvin is equal to the triple point temperature of water. Okay, using this value only we have to find out what is 1 Kelvin. So 1 Kelvin is the fraction of 1 by 273.16 of the thermodynamic temperature of the triple point of the water. So next we have to move on to the next base quantity, amount of substance. So what is the SI unit of amount of substance? Mole. So we can define 1 mole. So 1 mole is the amount of substance which contains as many elementary entities means particles, as there are atoms in 0.012 kilogram of pure carbon 12. So the amount of substance which contains the many elementary entities as there are atoms of 0.012 kilogram of pure carbon 12 atom. This is only we have to take as 1 mole. So next we have to move on to the definition of 1 candela. 1 candela is the luminance intensity in a given direction of a source that emits monochromatic radiation of frequency 5.4 into 10 power 14 Hertz and that has a radiant intensity of 1 by 683 watt per radian in that directions. So the candela measures the luminance intensity in the given direction of a source that emits a monochromatic radiation of frequency that is 5.4 into 10 power 14 Hertz and has a radiant intensity is 1 by 683 watt per radian in that particular direction. This is the definition of 1 candela. Listen, now let us move on to some of the derived quantities and their units. So first we have to see the physical quantity and see the related expression and how we can write the unit. Okay, so already you know the physical quantity is plane angle. The unit of plane angle is radian, is arc per radius only we have to take as radian. And solid angle, the surface area by radius square, the unit is taken as a radiant. Okay, now let us move on to the third one, area. So what is the area formula? Length and breadth. So the SI unit of length is meter, and the SI unit of breadth is also meter. That's why we have to obtain meter into meter, meter square. Okay. Then volume. So volume, what is the volume formula? Area into height. What is the SI unit of area? Meter square. Then height, it's also measure the length, meter square into meter, meter cube. Okay. Then what is the velocity formula? Velocity is equal to displacement by time. So the unit of displacement is meter, and the unit of the time is second. So meter per second. And for example, we can write the density. So the density, what is the unit of mass? The unit of mass is kilogram. And what is the unit of volume? Volume is what? Already we know, meter cube is needed. So kilogram per meter cube, or kilogram meter power minus 3. And moment of inertia. So what is the formula? Expression, mass into distance square. So what is the unit of mass? Kilogram. What is the unit of distance? Meter. Here distance square. So we have to write a kilogram meter square. Like that, we have to write the derived quantities and their units. Okay. Let us see one more physical quantity. For example, impulse. So what is the impulse formula? Force into time. So what is the unit of force? Newton. What is the unit of time? Second. Newton second. Now, current density. So the current density formula is current by area. What is the unit of current? Ampere. It is denoted by the symbol is A. Okay. And area, the unit of area is meter square. Ampere per meter square, or ampere meter power minus 2. Then we can write Planck's constant. So the formula is energy of photon by frequency. Okay. So the frequency is nothing but it is used to measure the frequency formula is what? The reciprocal of the time period only. So it gives the unit of what? The time unit only. So the energy of photon, energy unit is joule, and the frequency we have to take as reciprocal of the time period. So 1 by second. So it comes for joule second. Okay. Then specific heat energy by mass into temperature. So the unit of heat energy is joule, the unit of mass is kilogram, and the temperature unit is Kelvin. So we have to write joule kilogram power minus 1, Kelvin power minus 1. I hope you understand, ma. Okay, now let us move on to what are the relations between radian, degree and minutes. So 180 degree is equal to, already we know, pi is equal to 180 degrees. Pi is equal to 180 degree. So we can write what is 1 degree. So 1 degree is equal to pi by 180. So the degree is converted into the radian. So we can write 180 degree is equal to pi radian. 180 degree is equal to pi radian. So we can write 1 degree is equal to pi by 180. Pi values we have to substitute 3.14. It is substituted and simplified. We will get the answer 1 degree is equal to 1.745 into 10 power minus 2 radian. And next we can write what is 1 minute of arc. So 1 degree is equal to 60 minute of arc. 60 minute of arc. Then 1 minute of arc is equal to 60 seconds of arc. You have to put double dash. So this is degree, and this is taken as minute of arc, and this is taken as what? Seconds of arc. Okay. So 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes of arc. Now 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds of arc. So already we know what is the value of 1 degree. So 1 degree is equal to 1.745 into 10 power minus 2. It's divided by 60. So you have to simplify, you will get the answer 2.91 into 10 power minus 4 radian. So 1 minute of arc is equal to 2.91 into 10 power minus 4 radian. And next we can find out what is 1 seconds of arc. 1 seconds of arc is equal to 1 degree by 3600 is needed, because already we know 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. Now 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds ka arc. So we can write that is 1 minute 1 seconds of arc is equal to 60 into 60, 3600. Okay. Now we got to substitute. What is the value of 1 degree? 1.745 10 power minus 2 is divided by 3600. It gives 4.85 into 10 power minus 6 radian. So it will come for the problems. Okay. So next we have to write what? Pi radians equal to 180 degree. 1 radian equal to 180 by pi. That is pi is equal to 3.14 or 22 by 7. It is substituted. So we can write 1 radian is equal to 57.27 degree. So what is the 1 radian value? 57.27 degree. Or 1 degree is equal to 1.745 into 10 power minus 2 radian. Okay, listen. Now let us move on to measurement of basic quantities. The first quantity is length. Measurement of length. The concept of length in physics is related to the concept of distance in everyday life. So the length is defined as the distance between any two points in space. So what is length? The distance between any two points in space. So let us consider these 2 points are placed in the space. The distance only we have to take as length. So the SI unit of length is meter. Already you know this one is needed. So the distances ranging from -5 meter to the distances ranging from 10 power minus 5 meter to 10 power 2 meter can be used by direct methods. For example, a meter scale can be used to measure the distance from 10 power minus 3 to 1 meter. We can use the meter scale. Suppose we have to measure the 10 power minus 4 meter. We can use the vernier calipers. The screw gauge up to 10 power minus 5 meters. So directly we can use these scales and we can measure the values. The atomic and astronomical distances cannot be measured by any of the above mentioned direct methods. Hence, to measure very small and very large distances, indirect methods have to be devised and used. So see the tabular column. Here the sum of the prefixes for each power also is mentioned. These prefixes are used along with the units of length and mass. See the prefixes, the multiple and submultiples, the units are given. The multiple, 10 power 1 is taken as the prefix is deca. It is denoted by the symbol is dA. For example, 10 power 6 multiple, the prefix is mega. So it is denoted by the symbol is capital M. Then 10 power 9 giga, capital G. 10 power 12 tera, capital T. 10 power 15 peta, capital P. And 10 power 21 zeta, it is denoted by the symbol is Z. Like that we have to use the prefix and the symbol. For example, we have to take as the submultiples. 10 power minus 1 deci, it is denoted by the symbol is smallest d. For example, 10 power minus 3 milli, it is denoted by the symbol is m. 10 power minus 12 pico, it is denoted by the symbol is p. 10 power minus 15 femto, it is denoted by the symbol is f. Like that we have to use the multiples and submultiples are used in the measurement of length. Okay. Now let us move on to measurement of small distances using screw gauge and vernier caliper. Already in the ninth standard you have to learn screw gauge and vernier caliper. Yesterday, what is the description and how we can measure or take the readings is with the help of the vernier caliper and the screw gauge. What are the scales are in the screw gauge? First we have to taken as the pitch scale, and second one we have to taken as the head scale is needed. And the screw gauge and the vernier calipers, I have the zero errors. First we have to find out the error in the instrument. Then the errors classified into two types. One is taken as a positive error and the negative error. That are already learned in our lower classes. Okay. The screw gauge is an instrument used for measuring accurately the dimensions of the object up to the maximum of about 50 millimeter. So the screw gauge and the vernier caliper both are used to measure the dimensions of an object is needed. And the least count of the screw gauge is 0.01 millimeter. And vernier caliper. A vernier caliper, it consists of two kinds of the scales. One is taken as a main scale and second one is the vernier scale coincidence or vernier scale reading. And the vernier caliper instrument is used to measuring the dimensions of an object, namely the diameter of a hole or a depth of a hole. It is used to find out the diameter is needed. The least count of the vernier caliper is 0.01 centimeter. So what is the least count of the screw gauge? Is 0.01 millimeter. So we can measure the smaller dimensions with the help of the screw gauge and the vernier calipers. And see here also, here the pitch scale is coincides with the head scale reading. There is no error. And this is taken as the negative error. This diagram indicates this is taken as what? This is the positive error. Like that we can find out the errors in the vernier calipers also. So this is taken as the negative error, this is the positive error, this is no error. Because the main scale read 0 is coincides with the vernier scale coincidence. It's need a vernier scale 0. So this is one, there is no error. Based on this only you have to find out either it comes for the positive error or in the negative error. I hope you might have understood what and all we have discussed in this session. Thank you.